Good morning. Thank you for joining today's daily webinar here at 10 a.m. Pacific time, where we go live every day, twice a day, once at 10 a.m. Pacific time and a second time at 1 p.m. Pacific time. As always, today's presentation is for informational purposes. We're not providing investment advice, legal advice. We don't sell investments. You can also follow the conversation on our community, which is mysolo401k.net/my-community, where we have thousands of forums posts, blog posts, and a large video library. Please also subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit like, for more daily webinars like this. Today's topic is going to be the Backdoor Roth IRA versus the solo 401k. Hopefully this will help you determine which is best for you, and maybe both will be best for you. We'll also answer any questions that you have here on the live webinar. Let me share my screen here. Give me a moment. Okay, so again, let's talk about the Backdoor Roth IRA versus the solo 401k. First, let's talk about Roth IRAs. So just like solo 401ks have annual contribution limits, so do IRAs, including the Roth IRA. For 2025, the total IRA contribution limit is $7,000 or $8,000 for those who are age 50 or older. That $7,000 limit or $8,000 limit applies across the board for all your IRAs. So you may have a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. You wouldn't be able to contribute $7,000 to each. You would have to either contribute all to one or some to both, but you just can't go over that annual IRA contribution limit of $7,000. Now, IRA account holders / participants can make non-deductible IRA contributions instead of Roth IRA contributions if their income is too high. As you can see by this chart here, if your adjusted gross income is too high, that will preclude you from being able to make an annual Roth IRA contribution. Hence why there is the non-deductible IRA known as the Backdoor Roth IRA, which is for those taxpayers who make too much income. So that's where you would make a non-deductible IRA contribution instead of a Roth IRA contribution, because you can make a non-deductible IRA even if your income is too high, and then you would immediately convert that over to the Roth IRA, hence the term Backdoor Roth IRA or Backdoor IRA. That's because it's for those who are high income earners who make a certain amount above their adjusted gross income, as this chart here shows, where their only option to get Roth IRA funds is to do it indirectly by making a non-deductible IRA contribution up to that $7,000 limit, for instance, and then after that, converting it to the Roth IRA. All right, so one thing to keep in mind about the Backdoor Roth IRA versus the solo 401k is that non-deductible IRA conversions are subject to pro rata rules. The pro rata rule essentially forces you to calculate the taxable portion of the conversion, which is a ratio which is going to be a ratio of after-tax funds to gains in that IRA, and also includes other IRAs you might have. You might have a traditional IRA, as well as a SEP IRA or simple IRA. You have to add the balances across all your IRAs, including a non-deductible IRA, when doing that backdoor Roth IRA conversion, which means you end up converting some of the basis and some of the gains. Well, one item to keep in mind when reviewing whether to do the backdoor Roth IRA conversion is that you can utilize a solo 401k plan to help isolate those IRA funds, those non-deductible IRA funds. So that way you only convert non-deductible IRA funds to the Roth IRA. And you can do that by essentially transferring other IRAs like simple IRAs, SEP IRAs, traditional IRAs to the pre-tax solo 401k if you're self-employed. That way you isolate those non-deductible IRA funds, and then you can convert those non-deductible IRA funds to the Roth IRA without having to also convert any of your other IRA funds, such as simple IRAs, SEP IRAs, or traditional IRAs. Another scenario is, let's say you have a non-deductible IRA and you've been making non-deductible IRA contributions for many years and you never got around to converting it to the Roth IRA and therefore has a bunch of gains. Well, you can also isolate that particular non-deductible IRA by transferring the pre-tax funds inside the non-deductible IRA to the pre-tax solo 401k and then converting let me rephrase that. You'll be able to transfer the gains in that non-deductible IRA to the pre-tax solo 401k, and then the basis in that non-deductible IRA will be isolated, and then you can convert those to the Roth IRA. So once in a while, we'll come across a client who says, hey, I've got a non-deductible IRA over at Vanguard, which has pre-tax IRA money in it, and of course, non-deductible IRA contributions. Is there a way I can convert that entire IRA over to the Roth Solo 401k or transfer it to the Solo 401k? Well, yes, but you have to isolate, which, as I stated, based on this example, that IRA at Vanguard, you would transfer the gains in that IRA at Vanguard, which are all pre-tax funds, to the pre-tax Solo 401k. Now the after-tax non-deductible IRA funds bases are isolated, and then you can convert those remaining funds in that non-deductible IRA over to the Roth IRA. You can't transfer non-deductible IRA funds directly to a solo 401k plan, just like you cannot transfer Roth IRA funds to a solo 401k plan. And that's an IRA regulation. It's the IRA rules that don't allow for it. You can learn more about that restriction by reviewing IRS publication number 590, which is the publication for IRAs. Now, those that qualify for a solo 401k plan can utilize the strategy I just talked about. To qualify for a solo 401k, you have to be self-employed with no full-time W-2 employees who work 1,000 hours or more in your business. And then in some cases, you can even contribute to both your non-deductible IRA and then convert that to the Roth IRA, as well as to a solo 401k plan, which is interesting because you can really maximize your Roth funds that way. Let's see if I can find a page from our website that talks about that so I can share that with you. About contributing to both a solo 401k and a non-deductible IRA or Roth IRA if you don't make over a certain amount. So here's a good page from our website. It talks about contributing to both a solo 401k and an IRA. So in some instances, we'll have clients that will do a full voluntary after-tax solo 401k contribution to the solo 401k, which is $70,000. That's the limit for 2025. They'll make that full $70,000 contribution to the voluntary after-tax solo 401k, and then convert it to the Roth IRA. And then they will also make a Roth IRA contribution of $7,000 on top of that to the Roth IRA. But if their income is too high, then instead of making that $7,000 contribution to the Roth IRA, they'll make it to a non-deductible IRA, and then they'll convert it over to the Roth IRA. So that's a good example of where some clients can really supercharge the Roth IRA and Roth Solo 401k savings by utilizing both that non-deductible IRA through the Backdoor Roth IRA, as well as the Mega Backdoor Roth Solo 401k, by making voluntary after-tax Solo 401k contributions and then converting those over to the Roth Solo 401k plan. Okay, let's take a look to see if we have any questions here today. It looks like we don't have any live questions today. Thank you for joining today's webinar. And again, we'll be back here again at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And please like our YouTube channel. And as always, have a good morning.